We've all been there, right? You're pouring your heart into something that really matters to you, and then you hit a wall. You're tired, you're frustrated, and it honestly feels like you're just spinning your wheels. Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that powerful urge to just quit and really figure out what's going on inside our own heads. This feeling, that little voice, it's universal. Doesn't matter who you are, an athlete, an artist, a student, we all hear it. But what if, instead of fighting that voice, we actually tried to understand it? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to learn what that voice is really trying to tell us. All right, so let's start right there, at that critical moment. This isn't just about being a little tired. It's a genuine crossroads. How you decide to act right then and there, well, that's what ends up shaping your entire journey forward. And this is such an important point. You know, successful people aren't some kind of superheroes who never feel doubt or exhaustion. Of course they do. Everyone does. The real difference, the thing that sets people apart, is having a plan for how to respond to that feeling, to get what it's saying and know what to do next. Okay, let's dive into the science because this is where things get really fascinating. That urge to quit, it isn't just some character flaw or a moment of weakness. Nope. It's a biological function that's hardwired into us. It's literally your brain just trying to do its job. So think of your brain as this incredibly efficient energy manager. Its number one priority is survival, and that means saving resources whenever possible. So when you start pushing yourself, either physically or mentally, your brain flags that as a potential danger. And its response? It blasts you with these powerful fatigue signals. It's a defense mechanism, basically screaming, hey, stop, conserve energy. But here's the kicker. How accurate are those signals really? This is where a pretty incredible idea from the Navy SEALs comes into play. They actually have a rule that's built around this very number, a rule that helps them blow past what most of us would consider our absolute final limit. Just let that sink in for a second. That feeling of being totally, completely spent, it's a false ceiling. When your brain is yelling at you that you have absolutely nothing left in the tank, you've probably only used about 40% of what you're actually capable of. The other 60% is still there, locked away by that protective defense system. Realizing that, that changes everything. So that's the body's hardware, right? The biology. But what about the mind's software? Because on top of those biological signals, our own thought patterns can set up these psychological traps that practically beg us to quit. So let's break down 3 of the most common ones. First up, we've got the I'm getting nowhere trap. This one gets triggered when we just can't see immediate results. You know the feeling. Maybe you've been working out for weeks, but the number on the scale hasn't moved. Or you're sinking hours and hours into a project, and there's nothing to show for it yet. It creates this illusion that all your effort is for nothing. And that's when the voice starts whispering, see, this isn't working, just stop. Next, there's the comparison trap. Oh, this one is so easy to fall into. We're scrolling online, we see someone else's success story, or we hear about a competitor's huge win, and boom, suddenly our own slow and steady progress feels like nothing. This creates a totally false sense of being inadequate, making us feel so far behind that quitting starts to look like a pretty reasonable choice. And finally, we have the overwhelm trap. When a goal is just massive, looking at the whole mountain you have to climb can be absolutely paralyzing. The to-do list feels endless. This feeling of this is just too much is a direct path to burnout, and at that point, your brain decides the only logical way out is to just quit the whole thing. Okay, so we have the brain's biological defense system, and we have these psychological traps. Now, let's tie it all together. What if we could reframe this whole experience? What if that feeling wasn't actually a stop sign, but more like a landmark on a map? This right here, this is the most powerful idea to take away from all of this. That moment of absolute exhaustion when you want to give up, that's not a signal of failure. It's a signal that you're on the very edge of your comfort zone. You are right where growth happens. The feeling isn't telling you to stop. It's telling you that a breakthrough is just around the corner. So, what do you actually do with this information? Well, here's a simple 3-step process you can use. First, just acknowledge the feeling. Don't fight it or judge it, just notice it. Second, play detective. Ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is this my brain's 40% alarm going off, or did I fall into a comparison trap? And finally, step 3, reframe it. Literally tell yourself, okay, this feeling means I'm close to something big. And that's really the whole key. That voice in your head isn't your enemy. It's just a misinformed guide. By understanding where it comes from, whether it's that 40% rule or one of those psychological traps, you can learn to listen to it, not as an order to stop, but as a notification that you are on the very brink of a breakthrough.